Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about specifically Dave Chappelle as the best possible 2020 presidential candidate. Now, I just want to say at the outgate of this, I think some people are going to think this is a joke. This is absolutely not a joke. I think the reason why people would think this is a joke is a lot of people don't remember this, but when Trump said that he was going to run again, a lot of people said he was a joke candidate, right? That he, didn't really believe that he had the wherewithal to go the distance. That turned out to be shockingly wrong. And so, basically, I'm talking about a 30-year veteran comedian, someone who has been in stand-up comedy for 30 years as president. And I'm telling you, our world has fundamentally changed. This is a very serious video on an incredibly serious topic. So here's my take. I think that Dave Chappelle is the best possible candidate for president for 2020. I have some distinct reasons why. I have a little bit of mnemonic to help myself walk through this. I think the reasons why Dave Chappelle would be the best possible U.S. American president candidate for 2020 is Darnell Farm Surge. So I'll touch on each of those points. So let's get into it. First, why am I talking about this? Well, guess what, people? 2020 election starts now, right? All right, it's time, right? So Trump has finished his first election. I want to be 100% clear about, because I'm saying something of significance here, and Dave Chappelle, if he chooses to run, will have my vote in 2020, okay? I'm deadly serious about this, about this video, right? I think he is a true, fantastic candidate, right? Now, he may choose not to run, and then I got to figure out where I'm going to put my vote. But the reality is, I absolutely love politics. I have a degree in political science, and I follow politics the way most people follow football. And if you know anything about politics, the run-up for 2020 has to start right now. And the reason why is people like Dave Chappelle, right? Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't think for 1 second Dave Chappelle is thinking about running for president right now at the time of this video. And I think the candidate, and so 2016 was like a comet hitting the earth, right? It was, Trump changed everything. He changed the game. And, I want to be full open here, right? I consider myself a Republican. I've voted Republican. I've voted in every single election, presidential election, and and then the interim, the midterm elections, every single one since 1988. And in every single one of those elections, I have voted Republican, except I voted for Obama twice. So that I'm laying that out there, right? Just giving my groundwork. Okay. The reason why I voted for Obama twice was I truly believe in my heart that I would have been an abolitionist, and when there was an opportunity to elect an actual minority president, I was not going to let that sneak by, or I was not going to let that go by and do nothing about it. And the Republicans never truly put a presidential candidate for me to put up, to actually vote for, where there would be a minority president, where somebody other than a white man could be a president, right? So that's why I voted for Obama. All right, now I want to talk about Chappelle, right? The reason why we're talking about Chappelle right now is not actually Chappelle himself. It's Oprah Winfrey. Oh, this week, Oprah Winfrey dropped the mic at the the Golden Globes Award, right? And man, in my opinion, I think Oprah Winfrey is getting spun up to run for president in 2020. And I think the Democrats are going to be very excited about her, right? And I think she has a lot of elements that are strong as a candidate. But the reality is, I truly believe the Golden Globes speech given by Oprah Winfrey is really that's the opening of hunting season for 2020 election, right? Now, I've already heard some Gillibrand, Brooks, some of the top Democrat competitors, right? I'll tell you right now. So here's the deal. One of the things that I think Trump has changed is there will never, actually, at least for the next 20 or 30 years, there will be no more political presidential winners, right? It's all going to be celebrities going on here forward. And the reason why is both parties, both American parties, the Democrat Party and the Republican Party have fully validated celebrity presidents, okay? And celebrity politicians, and and by extension, celebrity presidents, right? So on the Republican side, it was Ronald Reagan, fully validated presidential celebrity presidents, right? And then on the Democrat side, Al Franken, the Democrats, elected him again and again. They validated that they believe that celebrities are fine for the highest offices. Okay, all right. So basically, and I was thinking about it, and I think the Democrats would be tempted to run Oprah Winfrey, right? Dave Chappelle would absolutely murk Oprah Winfrey if he ran as a candidate. He's just a much, much, much stronger candidate, right? Now, yeah. So let's get into it. All right. So here's why I believe Dave Chappelle would be an absolute. I mean, he would just be a straight ninja if he ran for political ninja. If he ran for president in 2020, I think he'd be unbeatable. Here's why. Let's get into it, okay? Why do I think he's a worthy candidate for president, okay? So it's 3 words: Darnell, Farm, and Surge, okay? Let's talk about Darnell. So Dave Chappelle had a show called The Chappelle Show. I think it was back in the early 2000s. It just like maybe late 90s, somewhere in there. I think it was early 2000s. So Dave Chappelle came out. He had a tremendously successful show on Comedy Central. It really broke, virtually every record for comedy shows. It's remembered to this day. He was incredibly funny, and it was incredibly funny. And he was being paid tens of millions of dollars by Comedy Central, and he was outrageously rich, okay? So he had this really, really successful. So Dave Chappelle's arc was incredibly successful stand-up comic, groundbreaking comedy show, then goes to renegotiate with Comedy Central and falls out of Hollywood level comedy for 12 years, and then has a resurgence, right, with Netflix in 2017. Okay, and the numbers are out there. He made millions and millions of dollars with Comedy Central. Turned down a $50 million renegotiation with them to continue the show going forward, and then came back and got $60 million for comedy specials with Netflix. Okay, now once he did that, he started going on tour again, right? And he sold out I'm pretty sure he sold out Radio City Music Hall for 30 days. He had this really long run at Radio City Music Hall, and he went on this radio tour, and he was just talking to all these radio heads, DJs, Joe in the Morning, those kind of guys, and everywhere he went, or most places he went, he brought Darnell, Ashy Larry, right? Darnell is a very good friend of his. Came up from the Chappelle Show. He's kind of a day one person, right? He was with Dave Chappelle from the beginning, right? Darnell is really important, right? Darnell did not get a lot of commercial success or Hollywood success. Darnell's success is really very closely tied to Dave Chappelle's success, right? But Dave Chappelle made a space for Darnell in his interviews, eventually in his entourage, and even more than that, on his shows, right? On his show, and then even like on Radio City Music Hall, Darnell was included in that, at minimum in the orchestration, right? So Darnell is, to me, it shows that Dave Chappelle is loyal, right? So the people who helped him come up, he returns in kind. And not just as transactional. It's very clear if you listen to these interviews, and the interviews, Dave Chappelle's being asked a lot of questions, and when he brings Darnell, the radio DJs are merciless with Darnell. Like every time Darnell opens up his mouth, they encourage Darnell to shut up because they only want to hear Dave Chappelle talk. They're very disrespectful to Darnell, right? But Darnell is really important to me in Dave Chappelle because Darnell is, Dave Chappelle is saying, I don't care what anybody else thinks. This is my friend. This is my person, right? This is the person that I give my goodwill to, and what nobody else thinks is going to matter, right? I just listened to an interview with Billy Corgan, talking to Joe Rogan, and Billy Corgan talked about how he wasn't like that with his band. There was times where the Smashing Pumpkins broke apart because he would get requests for interviews or magazine covers all by himself, and he would just throw them to the wolves, man. And Dave Chappelle didn't do that, right? He was loyal to his early friends. Let's talk about Farm, okay? Darnell Farm Surge, all right? Let's talk about Farm. This is the heart of Dave Chappelle being an unbelievable, unbeatable candidate in 2020, okay? Dave Chappelle made millions and millions of dollars in the early 2000s on Comedy Central. And then he bounced out, right? He's like, this is too intense. I don't want to keep doing this. I'm a little frustrated with how this whole thing is going, right? So he bounces out, right? Well, then he bounces around, and he will say himself, he struggled at this time. He didn't know what direction to go with his life, right? Well, where did he end up, right? He ended up marrying a woman. They have 3 children together, right? And so now he's just, and guess what? Dave Chappelle, one of the best comedians ever to be born, right? Right? He is now a suburban dad. He makes his home in Yellow Springs, Ohio, on a 65-acre farm. What? Okay. All right. This is the heart of the Dave Chappelle 2020 candidacy. Dave Chappelle knew every rapper in the game, all the best rappers in the game. He had millions of dollars. He had fame. He had fortune. He had the ability to go do whatever he wanted. Okay. And, and he said, what's good in life? Having a family, having kids, and living in the suburbs. And go beyond suburbs. This is the heartland, man. Dave Chappelle loves the heartland, loves American heartland. That is crazy, right? So you got a guy who is best buds with the best in hip hop and rap, right? And who is considered, a welcome member of that culture, who also fully understands the value of American heartland. That is unprecedented. That is what makes Dave Chappelle an unbeatable candidate. He is a paradox. He is someone who's truly unique, okay? Let's talk about the last one, resurgence, okay? I'm going to talk about, so I said surge. So Darnell Farm surge, right? Resurgence. Dave Chappelle had a great show. He couldn't handle it. He couldn't keep it going, right? He had to drop out, and he went away for 12 years. And when he came back, he replaced a $50 million offer with a $60 million offer, which he got paid from Netflix for, right? He can take failure and turn it into gold. And you need that in a president, right? And the way he did that is Dave Chappelle is crazy smart. I mean, just ridiculously smart. He is incredibly intelligent, right? And I believe there's some wisdom in there as well. I've listened to him enough. And you're not going to get this in his stand-up. You're not going to find wisdom in his stand-up. You're going to find wisdom in the interviews he does to promote his tours, and just interviews that he does, talking with radio guys, talking with YouTube guys, talking with, all kinds of media people, right? And where he's just being honest and he's talking off the cuff. One, you will see how quick he is with his jokes. I mean, he is so smart, right? So my take is celebrity presidents, they're not really a problem. They don't know anything about politics. What they're going to do is they're going to be surrounded with political wonks who got all the information. They're going to give them the information, and then they're going to make a decision. And they don't even need to make the right decision themselves. They need to know who to talk to, right? They need to be able to tell, wisdom from non-wisdom, right? And I think Chappelle could do that. I absolutely think Chappelle could do that. Here's the other issue. All right, so one, I gave you my main 3. There's a lot of other reasons why. The other one is he can win, right? So one, this is really important, okay? Right now, I'll tell you right now, I don't think the Democrat or the Republican Party really understand what is necessary for a president. One, No president, no one who runs for president ever should be over 60 years old, ever again, right? The toll on the job and the toll on the run-up, the 2-3 year run-up to the election is so physically degrading that you need a strong young person to survive it, right? It is, if you're over 60 years old, one, God bless you, I think it's great that you're doing your thing, but the burden is too much. You don't take a 60-year-old person and tell them, I want you to carry half a cord of wood, I don't want you to take all these pieces of a cord of wood. I want you to move a cord of wood over there. It's just times have changed, and the presidential election is so burdening physically, right, that you can't do it. It's dangerous. It's foolhardy to run anyone over 60 years old going forward, okay? Dave Chappelle is 44 years old, right? And we're gonna need that you're gonna need that strength and vitality to go forward. Any candidate is gonna need strength and vitality. Okay. Now, the reality is, it's 3 years of battle, right? The run up to the modern presidential run, the modern American presidential run is 3 years of daggers out battling. But what are the weapons, right? Words. Words are the weapons. Guess what? Dave Chappelle is a word ninja, man. There's nobody better. No one, right? Can you imagine anyone saying, okay, I'm ready to go into this debate with Dave Chappelle? What? He will wreck people, right? And he's a reader. He has good attention. He knows how to control a crowd. And, and I think he would learn the things he would need to learn, and he would take it seriously. So, and then the other reason is why. Why am I saying all this? Well, I'll tell you one reason. There's one reason why. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He is a major issue. He can run on either side of the ticket, right? So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he can run on the Republican side, right? That's the issue there, right? Now, I think Dave Chappelle is a better candidate for the Democrats. But if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson decides to run on the Republican side, which is possible, okay, then you absolutely have to have Dave Chappelle in there in the mix. It's absolutely required, right? I think Dave Chappelle is the only dude who could put down Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Because I'll tell you right now, if you put up Oprah Winfrey against Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, that's a celebrity presidential run. There's no way Oprah's going to win that from the numbers. No way. Absolutely not. So that's my take. I really believe that Dave Chappelle is the best possible candidate for president for 2020. And I think that's my take on the subject. Take care.